Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Very good morning, adik-adik, student, my beloved student.
Isi bakal ditebut si ucing riweuh. Ucing riweuh.
If you yang online, selamat pagi, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen here and also online. So first of all, I would like to say thank you for Professor Samad for able to be here with us, and our respectful Professor Dr. Bunyamin Mahfud is the Vice Rector for Research, Business and Partnership, and also Bapak Profesor Dadang Sumender, Head of Institute of Research and Community Services, and also Ibu Profesor Ida Hamida, the Secretary of Institute of Research and Community Services. Also, I would like to say hi to Bapak Fauzan Alfi, the very potential young lecturer from our neighbor, from the Institute Technology of Bandung Institute of Technology. He's in the Building Technology Research Group, School of Architecture, Planning and Policy Development. Check again. Online, can you hear me? Wave your hand. Online. So today we have a public lecture with Professor Samad. He's from the University of New South Wales. And before he delivers his speech, I would like to uh, introduce him, or before he introduce himself as well. Uh, Pak Professor Bunyamin Maktub going to deliver his speech for opening this public lecture. For your time, please to the stage.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Pertama, data parameter. The coordinator of this program, that is not accurate optimism. First, air, it is here. Problem. We know that the global policy established by the United Nations with the program of in order to cross that one of the problem is how to keep in concept the earth with sustainable development policy. And I think uh, benefit for us it's what that and uh, and to be Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia under the initiative from Dr. Beka Paramita have high concern on have program that in line with the sustainable development policy. So I hope that this seminar speaker from the Professor Sangat discuss fruitful task.
I will also to introduce Pak Samad before you have your speech. Pak Taufik kan mau membawakan ini atau saya yang menginikan Pak ini aja ya? Yang ke depan aja dulu.
Audionya sudah ada, sudah.
Oke, ya terima kasih. Our guest lecture today is very not so far actually. Australia is just like 5 hour flight. So Bapak Profesor Samad Sepasgozar was named as top researcher nationally by the Australian and recognized as the world top 2% researcher by Standard University based on his citation and research performance. And he also awarded as one of the top 1% reviewer by Publon Web of Science. He's the former deputy head of research associate editor for the Journal of Architecture Engineering and also academic editor for several numerous journal in the world. So Bapak Profesor Samad Sepasgozar, he's from the Art, Design and Architecture School of Built Environment, University of New South Wales. He's been here for about perhaps in Bali is 5 years and in Bandung is around also 5 days, and also in Bandung is also 4 or 5 days. So he will return back to Australia next Saturday. So you student, if you have time or you want to have some connection with him, you can also check his website. You can just search Samad UNSW. That will be his name all around the website. So I will give you 1 hour presentation, Pak Samad. And then after that, Pak Fauzan going to have some discussion for your speech. And then after that, a student may have some comment or asking the question to Pak Samad presentation. So this is another interesting part why I inviting him to come to our university, because mostly I work with the USA university, and then I work with the Germany university, but then now I have this chance to have the collaboration with the Australian university. So his work much more in the technology that will be your generation, your era, not mine. I always say that if I'm still alive, it's probably like 30 years later, I will be like very old. That's not my word anymore. This will become your word. So means that his speech today, it's become what happened to not just 10 years later, it will be like 100 years later. 100 years later, perhaps, yeah, not so many people still alive. But we are going to footstep because we are in an architecture, we are in the built environment, we are going to have some footprint in our earth. So we have to be very careful how we have to manage our built environment. So Pak Samad, are you ready? Okay. You can call him Pak Samad. He already know what is Pak already, and he called me Bu. You want to stand up or okay? Just okay.
I'm just trying to share the screen first. maybe it's here much easier to me. Selamat pagi and good morning, everybody. I'm going to have a like 1 hour presentation to you. So feel free to ask your questions if you have any. Perhaps you can use the chat in the Zoom as well, and somebody can read the questions if you want. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I'm going to talk about implementation of future technologies. So one main theme in my presentation is about reducing the energy consumption, and the other theme is covering different types of technologies. So let's move to the next one. So I start with this image showing that we have communication with many students from different countries. For example, this is a group of students coming from Hong Kong visiting us last year. So I will talk about myself a little bit and the topic. So before I move, oh, okay, it's a bit quicker than me. So the topics I'm going to cover today is more about innovation and technology or technical innovation. So this kind of innovation can be applied in different fields. So it's not only design, but also design and also construction, or also you can use some of them during the building performance. And in different fields, perhaps there are some applications as well. And one of them is sustainable. To achieve sustainable development goals, you need that kind of innovation or technologies, because innovation and technology helps you to facilitate things, to make things more efficient. So that's why we focus on the application of technologies in different fields. When I give you different examples, this helps you in terms of creativity, so you get some ideas about it. And I will talk about various types of technologies, because you are from different, maybe courses, or you have different background, different desires. So maybe some of you are interested in like energy saving, but some of you are interested in different fields. So I'm going to talk about a few different subtopics, so at least you can, one of them can be useful to you. So let's start with one short video. This short video shows tries to give a message about the future of construction. So you know construction, how people they build. So you have seen that many times, but is that it will be the same practice in the future, or it will be changed? So this video shows what will happen in the future. So let me play the video. It's almost 5 minutes, and then we can talk again. Do you have the voice? Can you hear? Cannot hear you.
Construction sites is simulated, automated, and connected. Autonomous machines equipped with drones, along with data collection robots, will enable real-time computation and prediction modeling. Project will be controlled from the immersive center. Augmented reality will see unprecedented growth by 2030 and bring digital twins of objects into the project command center for managing the science lab. In the age of rapid technological progress, construction managers need to know how to interact with robots remotely and adopt the mind-blowing set of tools for efficiency. There will be a fundamental shift in construction operation using autonomous machines, bringing in time completion, zero injury, and a higher quality.
So this is a control system and like in the building and can control all of the projects. Every screen is one project. So you can see different parts of the city. You can see the dashboard and data analysis.
Of dynamics, suggesting decisions to site managers in real time. And artificial intelligence will be creating. So spares will be printed randomly for the pair of equipment in remote.
So this video is available on YouTube. So if you want to watch later in a higher quality, you can see. Oh, okay, very good. So we've done this and we go back to the presentation slides. Thank you for introducing me. So this slide is about a little bit about myself. I skip it. You can see my students in the lab working with me, or I'm visiting other fields and universities. And most of the my students in the lab usually they are interested in application of different technologies, but this is one of the underground environment. They are working with my application. As Ibu said, one of my areas of interest is future cities, future construction. So this is my new book. It will be available online from next week on Amazon, but well, it's going to be about the future cities with a focus on quantum cities. As you know, the current cities is for our generation, but future generation, they are expecting different types of cities because of wide range of technologies. And you are familiar with some of those games in a virtual environment that will be transferred to something like more metaverse-based environment, and that will be even more in the future based on like quantum rules. We will have a totally different types of cities, but this story is long. I'm not talking about this story right now in a different time. Let me move to the next slide. So as you can see here, we are working on different topics, and each topic can be like a project. Like, for example, this one is like a government-based project. This is like RICS or IRCS. Perhaps some of you are familiar with Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyor. So the main office in the UK, and they have branches in different countries. And this is about digital twins. So this is for free available report online. So you can download it if you want to learn about digital twin. But we drafted this to make sure industry practitioners, they know what is a digital twin in their field, in design, building, construction, asset management, all that kind of thing. So RICS published this, and it's available to all of their 300,000-400,000 members or people who are interested to know about digital twin. So we work about timber, like on a project on timber construction. I have workshops for various institutions as well. So you can find some of those titles and topics online. So I'm going to start with this statistic. This is very important for your future if you listen to this or have like pay attention to this one, because this statistic shows, for example, what is the market size at the moment in terms of technology. So there are a couple of technologies, a smart building market, for example, and digital twin, or we have different types of tools and technologies, many, but most of them, if you look at that in 2016, 17, 18, 20, whatever, it was around $3 billion market size to 90, 50, 10, 20, different tools, different market size. But something happened. You can see the AI introduced to the community. Well, we knew AI before. We used AI before for many projects, but it was at the research level. But right now, well, and some of big organizations like Google, they are using AI for many years as well, YouTube, eBay. But from almost last year, everybody gets familiar what is AI, and they are directly using AI every day. And ChatGPT is one of them. There are numerous tools covered by AI. Okay, so this AI will affect on the technology, the nature of the technology, the size of the market, and it's going to be a few $100 billion in the future for some of those technologies. But my question is, this is important because this is about the change in the industry market size, but we are not business people to have a business view. But what is from a practitioner side, you, for example, what do you think if we are using $3 billion technology available, and then there is a city or environment that is, for example, for AI, it can be 1,000, like it's going to be like, for example, or another technology, it can be 30 times more. So right now we have many technologies in this room, just imagine, and tools, but imagine it can be 30 times more. So what this room looks like, almost every activity will be digital and automated and intelligent, right? So I give you another example, because technology is increasing, not the size, but also changing our life, changing our behavior, changing our work and the way you design things. Do you know in the future, I mean, still you are going to be the designer or a robot or a bot going to design? Can we compete with them? So I'll give you another example. Like many years ago, for example, just imagine many years ago, 20, 50, 40, whatever. You have a grandma working in a mountain or somewhere and washing clothes, right? By hand. Getting tired, maybe weather is not very kind, and the practice of washing clothes is by hand, manually. But then you think, oh, I want to help you. I want to help to your generation, my parents, my grandmother, my grandfather. I need to build something to do that automatically. Okay, don't worry, I will fix it. And then I go to my lab and then I design like a robot, like a grandmother robot, humanoid robot. And this robot has two hands to wash things, right? So this is my imagination because I want to help my grandmother. Then I say, okay, I will design a robot to do that. But this is not the physics language. This is not the engineering language or mathematics. Physics says we need to do that in a different way. What is the different way? You know that there are a lot of washing machines right now in everybody's home, or everybody use that at least once, right? Then you put your clothes and whatever you want to wash, and that machine washes the clothes, but not like grandmother or not like a robot with two hands. There is no hands or whatever. It's like inertia and physics rule, never gets tired, and that machine washing can work for 20 hours, 10 hours. So innovation and practice are not following whatever we think. Because we are human, we think everything we need to design for the future is based on our understanding. But the nature and reality, they follow different rules, like physics, that's one of them. And future practice. So what is my message? This is important again. My message is what we do right now, the skills we learn, we improve our skills, we prepare ourselves for next year. But this next year, yes, we are ready for next year. But can we be still useful in the next 5 years, next 10 years, next 15 years, like in the future? Just give you another example. There are many in different cities, but mainly in my city as well. We have many international students. They come and they write English, but their English needs a lot of edits. And there are many people around the university, they edit for students, they get money. They are not one person, like a lot of agencies, offices, that kind of things. But ChatGPT almost disrupt this business, almost killed, right? So it's not a matter how good this person was in English, but now there is a tool, you just press button and then it's a matter of seconds, not just going there, can you do that? They say, no, next week, I don't have time, this amount of money, very expensive. Sometimes they miss some of the words. So the whole market changed. So do you think the design market will be changed? The design practice will be changed? Our job will be changed. Construction is the most complicated one because design, you sit and design. Construction is, every construction site is different, but they will be changed as well. So every sector will be changed. So that is very important to learn what will happen in the future. So right now, well, I had a presentation about a smart building yesterday. People are using it with this kind of screens. and they are happy because they say, oh, that's how smart is this building, pay a lot of money. But then in the future, we are not going to control things and even make the decision to change the temperature or whatever. AI or a bot or robot or somebody will do that. Somebody in the building. That can be an avatar, can be something else. But this is not only for a smart building, for a smart construction as well. Look, this person using an iPhone or iPad to read different drawings, specifications, data only, not very much more activities. But the future, again, there will be intelligent systems to analyze data in real time and make decisions or help us to make decisions, complex decisions. So that is the future. But this future usually is around 2030 and onwards. So from 2030 and onwards, you can see big disruptions. To us, it's long. Some of us will be retired, but to you, you will be graduated and looking for a job in that period of time. Okay, so I'm going to skip this.
Di akun manajemennya, kalau yang basic banyak ada 2, akun profile.
Again,
Sedangkan
so,
kita
well, this we discussed, I mean, in a different meeting about smart buildings. And I told them, I mean, there will be cognitive agents, but these cognitive agents are going to detect,
kalau di yang basic
get
ini,
the data, analyze the data,
dia
and
akan profile
think and change things, the environment for us.
kita
So this is going to be the future. And it's not about people only, because in the building, in the city, and in the environment, we are not the only creatures living there. Animals as well, plants as well, flowers as well. And then virus kind of things, infections, all of them will be managed by cognitive agents. It's not only one parameter or one factor, many different factors will be managed. So again, here you can see one of the analyses I've done. So if you look at the literature, there are many papers working on the application of Internet of Things, IoT, and energy. So these two receive the high attention in the literature, but there are emerging themes like AI, big data, and decision making. So these items coming, so it's emerging directions is going to be the trend. Because when we have IoT means like sensors to collect data and to detect things. If we have them, a lot of data will be produced over time, over years, and that should be analyzed. So that's why we need AI, we need decision-making things. So I give you a very clear example about why this decision and big data and artificial intelligence in the building sector still at the beginning. Okay, give you an example. You were using internet, okay, for 10 years, 15 years, whatever. But many years ago, we haven't got internet. We were writing on paper, and then we use computer to type. And then internet help us to make everything online. And this practice took 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years. But what happened now, ChatGPT can go back and read all of them. I mean, AI can read all of them that we created and made available online, learn from them, and then help the new generation. That's interesting, isn't it? So we all create something, and then now some like a tool going to read them. So the same, we are designing. We have sensors in building, we collect data. We make them digital. Everything is going to be recorded. But who will use it? Not now. There are privacy issues, security issues. The technology is not very advanced yet. It will be more advanced in the future. And these data sets can be used again for a good reason. But that good reason is still not clear. Okay. So let's move to this slide. So you can see we talked about the market size of the technology. And here you can see like a smart building market is going to be also doubled. The market size will be doubled by 2030. And this, when it's doubled, it doesn't mean the number of users will be doubled. No, technology market size will be doubled and technology will be cheaper in the future. So it means many users will use that. Some of them will be for free. I mean, free availability and everybody can use it, open source, open access, that kind of versions. So this is only the money part of the story. All right, so, well, energy saving, well, this is, again, it's like a very specific chart, mainly for those who are interested in energy saving in different regions of the world. So some regions, they had a practice to save more energy using tools and technologies for electricity consumption, like Nigeria, Mexico, some of them, but some other countries, they are at the beginning, so they can save more, but they need longer time and more practices. But at the moment, just a few of them, they've got good rates of energy saving using technology. And well, there will be a lot of strategies for the future to have such a building like solar systems and all of them connected to people inside that behavior. So you can see like the future building is going to be more innovative, like different sets of materials will be used. The material can be smart, the window will be smart, the door openings will be smart. When everything is smart, we don't say that it's a smart building. Because right now we have a lot of smart buildings, but they are not like that on explaining. They are cognitive buildings. The building is cognitive. The building understands things. Well, in reality, it doesn't understand, but we feel the whole building understands everything. When something should be open, something should be closed, temperature, not only temperature, a lot of different things, and not only for human, for animals and for plants and for all of them. Just like an intelligent system will look after everything in the building. Okay. Well, here you can see the concept of a smart is in the literature for many years. A smart building, a smart city, a smart infrastructure, a smart health, a smart transportation. We have so many smart systems, but some of them are disconnected. So the thing is in the middle. So in the middle, we need a set of networks to connect them. If we connect them, we can improve the city, the country itself by the data. But if they are disconnected, like single individuals, sometimes they can enjoy because of the smart system, but sometimes not, because the current smart systems are not always reliable. It doesn't work when you need it. So we were lucky, the microphone is working today, but in many other presentations, it happened when you need it, it doesn't work. So it's technology everywhere. But the reliability of the technology makes the whole system very expensive and very difficult to achieve, not just availability of the technology. And technology has two sides. One side is to create it, but one side is the management, leadership, how to make sure the technology can be useful every day, all the time, and help human. So that is more difficult. Otherwise, the technology can be identified where it is, who developed that, we can buy it. But this technology will not help everybody at the same level. You have AI tool, I have AI tool. But when we have the same thing in mind. We want to solve the same problem, but you ask AI in a different way. I ask AI in a different way. The outcome I get is different than the outcome you get, and the outcome you get is different than your friends and others. So technology maybe looks the same, but it works in different ways for different people in different contexts. So that's the practice, how we can deal with technology, interact with technology, use and implement the technology. It's very complex, and some of them, some industries, some sectors are behind others. So that's why we have advanced high-tech, high productivity sectors. We have low technology sectors or low productivity sectors at the moment in the industry. It's not the same. So here you can see, here is the right side is like a concept we created with a couple of the students. Like this is like a building, a smart building, and then we turn this to a digital twin. And this digital twin, we collected the data, and then here we visualize the data. Here is this dashboard. So this one at the top is, we published this in a book chapter. In that dashboard at the end, we published this in a journal, American Society of Civil Engineering journal. So, and this one, this smartphone story, we published this with another student in another book chapter. You have a couple of them here, but not all of them. But anyway, so different, they are different pieces of a bigger project. So let's move. Okay. So here I'm going to talk to you about another concept that can be very helpful if you understand this concept for your future as well. So there are two different figures here. So this figure is just an example of virtual reality beam or digital twin. But this is an example. But this one is about all different tools and technologies, the horizontal one. So we have one horizontal historical the history of evolution of technology, and then we have a couple of examples here. So these are the outcome of two different projects are done with two different students, and both of them published. But these are connected because I want to give you one message. So here you can see what is happening. Look, this is smartphone here, like iPhone or whatever we are using at the moment. This is going to be useless if you don't have internet and Wi-Fi, right? What you can do with that. And also, if we don't have hardware, quality materials to create this iPhone, still we cannot produce a good quality smartphone. So it means there are many, many tools and technologies created over years, and these tools and technologies enable us to produce some more useful tools and applications. But the useful tools and applications we develop and use right now is based on many single tools already invented by many people in the previous couple of decades, 3 decades, 4 decades. So now I'm going back to virtual reality and BEAM and digital twin. Digital twin is a new technology. Have you heard about digital twin? It's a new one. Virtual reality is a new one. BEAM is a new one. How many years we have BEAM? So the answer is two things. One thing is, in terms of commercial, in the industry, like everybody use these technologies, that can be a bit recent. But the concept of them can be very old. So the concept in the literature, the concept in publications is old, but in terms of everybody uses, is that widely accepted in different countries? Every country has a different date. Like in Indonesia, they started using BIM maybe in a different year. Australia, Singapore, different countries, different years, right? So that's the commercial part or maybe the industry part. So I started with this question because I want to say something else. Somebody many years ago, almost in 1950, just imagine like 50 years ago, 40 years ago, no, 70 years ago, whatever, at least 50 years ago and onwards, like 60, 70 years ago. I mean, can you imagine somebody coming and talking about virtual reality? Like 60 years ago, somebody in the lab created initial version of the headset to see something that we call it virtual reality. But this was a big, big headset, not like that headset you can use. It's not like a machine you put, and then you go there and then watch. And this machine, nobody take this machine serious. And they said, well, this is a useless machine because it's a very big thing. And who can use it? Nobody. So this technology was there, but the problem was this side. These kind of tools and technologies were not available to bring this innovation to our life. That's why it was very big. But the material science advanced, so we can make things smaller and tiny. The chip and hardware and software is advanced, and that's why we can make the process quicker and make it useful. So this tool, many years ago, 50, 70 years ago, that is now on some of your smartphones or apps or some of the versions of iPhone, you can see it has augmented reality, virtual reality, that kind of things. And people, they use it for different purposes. Why? Because the digital infrastructure wasn't available. But now the digital infrastructure is available. Then what will happen? The digital infrastructure is advanced. But what is the next? What is happening right now? Some smart people make business based on this infrastructure. They become very powerful, very rich, based on something that other people invented, not themselves. They haven't done anything. That's business. Okay, I'll give you an example so you can enjoy a little bit more. These guys, the new business guys, they are working or running businesses based on something invented by some other people, and they are richer than traditional people who are rich, like the car companies or real estate companies. These guys are at the top, rich people. But what these guys are doing, these guys using these kind of little single tools, make an application and solve a problem. So sometimes technology cannot solve the problem, but you can use it in a different way and solve the problem. So that's our job for the future. I'll give you an example, and it's taxi. You were using taxi perhaps or motorcycle many years ago in a different way. Asking your friend, can you give me a ride, or calling somebody like a taxi agency to come to you and take you. But right now, people, they created some apps like Uber or Grab or GoJet and a lot of things like that, different countries, different names, right? But these guys who developed this app makes a lot of money. This guy needs a lot of technologies, but they haven't invented, because that is working based on Google Map, satellite, internet, a lot of complicated tools and technologies. And somebody, if they wanted to do this, 20 years ago, it would be very expensive. Almost nobody could do that. But right now, startups, a couple of smart people, they sit together and create something that a big organization couldn't do that 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And just this practice is one of the funny ones because it's very interesting. You can see, look, the app, millions of people are using that app, but the owner of those apps or organization running those apps, they give a lot of services, but they don't have car. They don't have motorcycle. They don't rent parking. But you, everybody, if you are the user, if you are the driver, you use your internet, so you pay for internet, not them. You have your own motor or car, not them. And the food, the same thing. They also deliver food, but they don't have any restaurant. So it means they just manage a few different technologies, change the life. They change the life. They change the practice. Just imagine if they say from tomorrow until 1 week, there is no internet in the city. Not power, not water, internet. And what you can do? Very difficult. Yes. So it's very difficult. If your phone doesn't work as an individual, for example, you lost your phone. you have extra additional. But you would be happy, yes. Natural life. So the business will be affected. But we have a different practice because the message of my presentation right now is not promoting technology or say technology is good. No. If somebody thinks this is the message, it's wrong. The message is we need to learn how to improve our skills to be able to use technology and change the practice earlier than others, because it's like a jungle. If you run a little bit ahead of another one, that one, for example, the tiger cannot eat you because you're running faster, right? In the technology forest or technology jungle, you need to run fast by technology. You need to change the practice. You need to be productive. You need to be better than others by using technology. And you don't need to be a computer science person. You need to understand technology, solve the problem. Because people who are in the computer science, they develop the technology itself, but they don't know this can be useful for somebody or not. Like the virtual reality, the first person created that in the lab. He had no idea, what we want to do with that virtual reality. He just invented something thinking this can be interesting or good or whatever. But later, other people, they explode and they develop solutions, but based on that. I give you one example. When iPhone 1 came to the market, I remember that. iPhone 1 and iPhone 2 exactly have been in the market. We were talking about it. It was very expensive. I was in Dubai, $1,000 something, iPhone 2. And I said, it's so expensive. Why we need it? We have our own phones, like mobile phones, very good one. Why we need to get this big one and then it's like a pan, put it in your pocket and it's a useless thing. And we never bought and we never thought it can be useful. But it took few years and they tried to find more ways to make it useful. They tried to add more applications to make it useful. And that usefulness changed our practice, our life. And then now, if we want to go back to, for example, 20 years ago, like other kind of mobile phones, nobody likes them. Even right now, there are many in the city, perhaps very cheap. You can buy it, smaller mobile phones, but people don't like it, right? So because this one change your productivity, efficiency, and entertainment, and a lot of different things, all in one little thing. So that is the story of the technology to learn how we can develop solutions. So we should be problem-solving people as well, because we are not going to invent a new technology. We are not the user. We are in the between to develop the solution and then have some users around us to use it. So perhaps you can think about so many other ideas in your field based on the story of the previous slides. So this is again another typical smart building we developed like, with a couple of the students, how we can make this environment smart using different tools and technologies to detect infection and also to take care of our garden as well, not only the human occupant of the building. So we have three different typical plans, but every one of them focuses on one thing. One of them on like your daily activities and human body, human health, the other one energy saving, and the other one combination of all of them. So every plan looks after one specific thing. But here I'm going to show you this interesting story and set of technologies that's going to support the metaverse. So here you can see almost most of them are my technologies in the lab. Only two of them not, but the rest, 4 of them are in my lab. So you've seen this one, the visualization tools, how we can use apps to analyze the data and show every moment what is happening in the building or in a part of selected environment. We have this one, for example, this is an augmented reality. So I will explain to you what is an augmented reality. So this is an excavator like a digital excavator that can be used in a real life, projected in a real life. This is like a mirror, a part of the city. And this is like underground environment, people trying to make a tunnel underground, and then you can see the whole equipment, everything. But this one is more virtual reality. This one is more augmented reality, data log, and different things. So some of them are digital, we project on reality, but some of them are in reality, we make the simulation. So 2 different things. So these are going to support the metaverse in the future. So here I'm going to give you an example about digital twin. Let me see if I have a simpler okay, so I will explain this like a little bit in a simple way so you can understand what is a digital twin. So forget this slide at the moment, but look at this building, because there is an important concept about digital twin, but this has been confused many times by people. So we are in this building. You have the digital version of this building in your computer, right? So you can call it BIM, you can call it whatever you want, like a digital version of this building. If I open the door, you can see in your digital version, the door is open, right? So it means I go there, open the door, then the computer shows the door is getting change something around it, and it will be opened in the digital version of my computer. So I command it. So I open the door, the building command to this, it will be opened. This is one way of commanding the computer. And then my colleague is there and he opens the window. Then the real window here will be opened. This is a command from computer to building. Two different commands, two different data flow, right? But in reality, right now, some people, they have the map, they create the virtual model, simulation or building, like BIM or whatever, and then somebody will make the building. Sometimes we have something in my hands, or for example, I control TV, I control the excavator, I control the window, or if you have a garage, you can control the door will be open to you, you can go by car. So this is one way command, only you. But when the garage, the door is closed, your system will not be closed, but if it's closed, then it means the door is digital twin. So digital twin means you have two-way communication with physical things. So my digital version and my physical version, they talk to each other. So you say something, he says something, you say something, he says something. So that is digital twin. But if we have something like this building, and this building is the virtual one, simulation is here, that is digital shadow. It's like a shadow of the real building. Okay, so this is digital shadow, and this digital shadow shows what is changing in the real building. Okay, so this is the digital twin, and digital twin has many applications in energy saving, in sustainability, in making the environment efficient, and all that kind of things. But because it can be a little bit difficult to have many investigations around this digital twin or virtual reality or augmented reality, I'm going to show you one of them. So let me okay, so I'm going to share I'm going to share another screen with you. So I'm just trying to find where is my Zoom. Disappeared. This here. Sorry.
Where's the cruise? No, I mean, where's the cruise?
The Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, let me stop sharing. Can we? Okay, stop already. All right, so let me share. Okay, I'll share it again. All right, so here you can see the app. Let me. Can you hear me? So here is the app. I'm going to use this app, and perhaps if you have any question, you can ask me after. So here you can see the whole so this is the digital version of our digital version like that. So the real one is like that. And then here you can see the digital version of that. The both the commands and the view is not so you can use. Perhaps you can see here. So this I can control this excavator and the folding and the and it says yes. I just people will so the physical version of that in more now cities. Well, this is the physical version, and this is the version, and that physical version also they work together. So the physical version for this. So maybe the wrong should anybody wants to join? Anybody? If you have to join, 3 minutes and you come and join. So, it is going to be yeah. So this we created this example. Now, we have the digital twins. So who wants to play again and come and run it? Because in the future, you are not going to run an excavator easily, so you can try. That's your chance. So here I want to explain to you digital twin, how it works. Like this is one of the first two types in the whole world we created, and the RICS published this in their report for their industry people. So RICS or RICS is in the UK and US. And in that report, we have 5 examples published, and this is one of them. All right, so who is the next? Okay. So anyone wants to mix it for is moves along and also the all. One of them is the all of sale, one of them is the excavator goes down and down. So the arm goes down and up, and also you can take it on. So different types of movements. The different types of movements and all of them are controlled here. Okay. So one more incident can come for 3, and after that is 150 for everybody. So we have one more 3. So do you have any question about this?
I saw it physically, how the defense are.
Yeah, we have many sections, and
You can put your hand up.
Yeah, we have many sensors installed on the physical version. So Ibu Beta saw the physical version and we were running that, if you remember, and it has a lot of sensors on the arm and also the whole excavator and batteries as well, because it's electrical vehicle. It's not like fossil fuel thing. And it's like sustainable practice, but at the same time, many sensors in terms of the movement to record the movement. And then we have an Amazon cloud to save the data on the cloud as well. So you might say, okay, why we want to use the data? Because the data can be used. The data can be used by others for example, energy consumption, for productivity, for many other reasons. So I'm just looking for this disappeared excavator. So it's here. So at least online people can see that. So this online like digital version, so you can see there are a lot of different connections around this, and those connections are connected by sensors. And you can zoom in and see more details. That was one question or two questions? Yes, yes.
By problem solving needs or by creativity. I think it's interesting how UN has way think what drives this technology driven.
Okay. Thank you very much. Looks a very good question. It's more about the philosophy of that and also how it solve a problem and motivation of this, right? Yeah. So this, there are a few different things behind this. One of them is safety, and the other one is productivity. For example, you are the owner of this machine in your office. You have seen the office in my video at the beginning of the session, like there is an office controlling many projects in the city. You are in that remote environment working with this excavator, but we don't know, are you doing in a safe way, running the machine in a safe way? Are you sleeping, working, dangerous, whatever? And the owner or some senior people can see, can monitor. And if you are in a dangerous environment, this will fail over, but you can't control it. And somebody will take the control in the office. So then we don't need to pay a lot of money to experienced drivers to be there. Everybody can be there because we take control of the machine as well. So it means if you have thousands of these machines, you need to recruit thousands of high quality people, very expensive. But right now you can hire people with 1 year of experience or two, and then you control and help them as well if you want. But this is one of them. The second one is the productivity measurement. Is that productive? How many hours you work for how many cubic meter of soil to be moved? And one person works a lot, one person works less, and many other things. So this can be useful for many different purposes, but this is just one example we've done. And another thing, good thing, is the asset management as well. But people have different perspectives. From the asset management perspective, as I said, Rick's report published this as one of the top 5 prototypes in the whole world at the beginning of the digital twin 2 years ago. And Rick's is like an association in the UK, US. Only 1% from a university joined that report. And the rest of them are leaders of industry companies in the US and UK, and also they are the associate, some of the managers or leaders as well. So we don't have many prototypes, but at the moment there is like sort of like the speed of development is very high. So there are numerous projects in numerous cities and universities. They are doing they're working on digital twin, but we are one of the pioneers in this field to do that. We published, we developed the prototypes, and some of the documents are available online for free. Everybody can download it. It's open access journal or free journals. So any other questions? Any Zoom question on Zoom people? They have any question?
Wait.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay, so good morning everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And thank you for the opportunity, Bu Beta. And also thank you, Professor Samad, for your amazing presentation and also demonstrations. So students now can learn that we can control excavators just using our phones, right? Okay, so okay, yeah. Okay, we learned something interesting today from Professor Samad, that there are a lot of technologies that will disrupt our practice in architecture, especially if you want to be an architect one day, and also if you will be a teacher for example, for the vocational schools, where they are try to learn how to not only to draw but also to design buildings. And based on what Professor Samad mentioned here, that the future of the construction is totally utilizing machine to support the construction process, and also even the human itself, us as the person in the project, can manage almost like maybe one and or more construction projects using AR or augmented reality. And there are a lot of possibility and opportunity in terms of the market. So as shown in Professor Samad presentation, that the potential is getting higher and bigger after the AI hype in recent years. Previously, people know AI just like more like a statistic or something that should be learned really hard. But now in the mainstream users, people can use AI as or people know AI as like a chatbot, or maybe a filter in Instagram, or maybe another way to make your looks, you looks more handsome or beautiful when you're taking pictures, right? So it means that AI is getting to the mainstream. And how can we manage that once you are in the industry, especially in as an maybe later as an architect or later as a teacher? First thing first, we need to learn, or maybe we can find the local context problem here in Indonesia, especially in Bandung, or maybe just like in your neighborhood. What are the current problems, and what might be the possible problems in the future that you can solve using the technology that you can access today? Because actually the future is already here, but it is not evenly distributed, right? Who has already owned the Apple Vision Pro here? Or maybe know what is Apple Vision Pro here? See, actually the feature is here, but not evenly distributed. Only a few can access it. And once you grab or you on with those technology, suddenly you will think there's something pop up in your mind. What should we do, or what can we do with technology and the problem in the one thing related with the digital utilization, digital technology utilization in architecture and construction industry is about construction laborers. Can you imagine how the construction laborers will be like traded or changed, exchange with machine? Meanwhile, here in Indonesia, we have lots of affordable construction labor. I don't want to say it cheap, but I can say it's better to say it's a more affordable construction laborers. Is it better for us building our own house, using the current construction laborers, or using the machine that we show in the video previously? It depends on your goals, actually. If your goals to have your house built in lesser cost with not so tight schedule or timeline, maybe using the current construction labor is a good choice. But once you need to build something, you want to build buildings with great precisions and with considerably faster construction, maybe we can adopt the technology, the digital technology. We can use machine, we can use drones, etc. Or maybe we can combine the best of both, the best of the construction laborers, the human laborers, and also digital technologies. And that's gonna be another homework for us to teach and to encourage the construction labor. Yeah, can you imagine para tukang learns how to use an iPhone, or maybe using the same demonstration that professor showed? Maybe for some youngsters, laborers can understand because it's really familiar, but not for the seniors laborers. Yeah. Yeah. in 2045, we are going to have the bonus demography. The problem is, are we getting a good bonus demography? Is it going to be a good opportunity for us to elevate, or falling to another situation that we don't want to get into? That's one issue. Another issue is the political will. Actually, the political will. I learned from the current BIM implementation in Indonesia. It was started in around 2000. I think it's in 2015. Yeah, 2015, where the terms of Industry 4.0 was booming. Do you still remember? Everyone is talking about Industry 4.0. Smart building, smart car, or smart, etc. And the one who talks a lot about it is the government. They talk a lot without maybe understand what is the Industry 4.0 at that time. And one of the approach that can be adopted by the ministry, especially for the Ministry of Public Works, is BIM. And if if there is no political will from the government to adopt such of digital construction approach like BIM, or later into VR and etc., maybe we cannot have such of rules or government or peraturan pemerintah, ya, the government rules where the BIM is now mandated for the public buildings, including in our new capital city in Nusantara. All the projects, including the presidential palace, is using BIM to control the projects. I believe there are also some parts where they use virtual reality to visualize the construction press and etc. Okay, next. What should we do now? Once you know there is the technology, there are some possibilities for you to do something different than what our seniors do in the practice. Have you watched Black Mirror on Netflix? So who have seen Black Mirror here on Netflix? Can you raise your hand? I just want to, okay. Okay, only a few of you. I suggest you to watch the Black Mirror series on Netflix, because it is one of good series to imagine what are the new technologies, what are the impacts given by the digital technologies that human use in the near future, or maybe in the current life, yeah, like using social points and also VR, etc. And what we need to understand is that don't let the technology replace your role as an engineer, as an architect, right? As Professor mentioned previously, we need to learn how to improve our skills using the technology. for improving our practice in architecture, as as a professional architect, but not just replacing our daily tasks, daily job by like chatbots, ChatGPT, etc. Those technology should be our co-pilot, help us to do something, to do tasks which is like repeated tasks. You can brainstorm your basic design, your preliminary design using the chatbot. What should we do with my house? What should we do with my design tower, etc., etc., etc. So you can have your ChatGPT as your supervisor. That's a problem. Another problem for us, Bu Beta, because we need to. Yeah, we are going to release our burden in some, but in some ways, we need, for us, lecturer, we need to the keep the control. Which one is a good way to do this, to design, and which one is not. So you can use those technology as a co-pilot to help your task faster getting done. But even now, they have text to BIM. So you just type like a 10 stories apartment building with concrete combined with steel structure, and suddenly you can have the 3D models with the BIM parameter inside. But the point is, you need, or we need to elevate ourselves, so not just using the technology or getting replaced by the technology, but we need to understand how the technology can accelerate our tasks. We can put what the machine can do, and then we have more spare time to do what we can do as a human, which is socializing with the clients, responding with the nature, etc. So, and last thing, we as a designer, we cannot, we are not becoming a product designer anymore, because if we adapt the system or the digital technology that we seen today in the lecture, it means that we need to shift, or we need to change from just not just a designer who design a product, but also we need to be a designer who also design a system, right? Because now everybody can create products. You can, the chatbots can create the 3D rendering, can do all the generating stuff, yeah, the generative AI. But once we create our own system with our own style, with our own creativity, and then with those system we build, we can generate, we can produce our own unique design, our own unique products faster with the help of the technology, the AI, etc., as our co-pilot. Maybe that's all from me, Beta. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Fauzan, for your very bridging us the things about the development of the technology and what happened in our society. So actually, it just happened in my how to say, like my student during their peer assistancy. So I asked them to ask artificial intelligence, AI, to ask them about the design, because I'm very frustrated about the design. It looks like kolam pancing, but actually he made something like station, integrated station, something that's futuristic, but then it just looks like kolam pancing. What is it in English? It looks like a futuristic integrated station, but it looks like kolam pancing. So why don't you ask to artificial in AI to help the design? And then I just remember when I just graduated 2015 back to UPI. At that time, I tried to ask students to make some simulation. The senior asked, what that simulation for? This is to help us, the man behind the gun, have to know what is something behind. So for you, it is your era. So if your lecturer or your mentor say, jangan macam-macam deh, gitu. Yeah, he's a dinosaur, or he's in the, I don't know, perhaps he's in the something middle age. So that's not, we have to afraid of, but we have to tackle off, or we have to, how to say, like, we have to mastering it. So every time I discuss, I'm not really allergic with the AI, with the thin things. Yeah, we're going to replace, yes, but somehow we have to know how to manage it. So we have 30 minutes for discussion. You can deliver in Bahasa Indonesia. The Bahasa Indonesia, don't worry. So I will invite the student also from online. I heard someone from Papua as well join us. I share the link to my colleague to Indonesia, around Indonesia. Ada yang mau tanya? Boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia, bahasa Sunda juga boleh, bahasa Jawa juga boleh, bahasa Palembang juga boleh. Nggak ada yang mau nanya? Kalau nggak ada yang mau nanya, saya pun. Ini dulu ya.
Okay, thank you for the thank you for the lecture for Mr. Ahmad. And yeah, I'm trying to ask with English, but pardon if my English is not really good. So the question is that Mr. Faujan has mentioned that technologies grows rapidly, but it's not distributed yet. And how should the government do with the citizens who always blame the government with technologies and who could not afford the technologies yet? And that's all from me, and thank you.
Sama yeah, you going to answer? Sure.
So the question is more about the government size as a general, but if you ask a specific government, that can be a different story. But if you mean all the governments in the whole world, it's a different story. Some governments, they support startups and they support innovation. So this is a good thing. But the rest of countries, even 90% or even more, they are behind the technology advancement. So it means the technology becomes available, people start using that, and then government doesn't have a specific rules and policies for that. And then they think how to manage this technology, the positive sides of it or negative sides. If there has a big negative side, they try to formulate it and get tax. But the negative part, if there are some damages or issues to people and environment and building, they try to have some rules and legislations. I give you an example, like in Canadian example. There was a agency in Canada, and this agency was selling one version of cryptocurrency, and it was something similar Bitcoin. And people, they got a lot of money, so people, they could make money, and people in United States, they changed their cash money to Bitcoin or some cryptocurrency things in Canada. But this person, well, it was very small building, and the person who was in charge of this technology management system in Canada had no background. It was very young person, like maybe 20 plus something, and only tried to manage people to put their money there. And he became a famous person on media, but he was using other cryptocurrency, bigger ones somewhere else, and put the money, people's money, in their agency. So why this happened? Because people are not familiar. People are not aware of complex technologies, so they trust to this one or that one. So anyone, they think all of them are the same. And what happened when he's got a lot of money? He went to holiday to India and passed away in an accident. And all those people who put their money in this system, they lost their access. And some of them, they sold the whole life, and changed that to money to get some benefit out of it. And then what happened? No one had access to the system to manage it. But his wife got the control of that. But she said, I'm not responsible to you guys. And the lawyer supported this, and people, they lost their lives, a lot of money, a lot of things, because of this kind of technology. And Canadian government, they had no clear rule or legislation to say, you are guilty, we need to get money from you and give back to those people. There wasn't any clear statement, and it became like a big document. The documentary is available everywhere, but this was a huge thing. And there are many other issues with AI as well. So people got scared of AI. They don't have enough legislation or control over it. But perhaps your question can be the positive side of that. So how governments support new generation to build something based on technology or technology usage. If your question goes to the positive side of the story, I would say usually this is like based on individual motivations, because technology is sometimes very advanced. Your individual motivation and knowledge can help you to be quicker than governments, because governments usually takes long time to understand the technology, and then they draft something like rules and guidance, and then they get approval and then put it in place. Usually it takes a very long time. And you can see like BIM, building information modeling, many countries at the moment is still not using that. And some of them are pioneers using that for every purpose, but some others not really. So governments, they have different perspectives, which can be different from the technology side, or it's not like a technology perspective at all.
Okay, thank you. Jose, perhaps you want to add some more?
Okay, I want to add some. Check. Okay, maybe I will say it in bahasa Indonesia instead. Oke, jadi masih ingat ketika Gojek bermasalah dengan ojek pangkalan? Nah, itu salah satu contoh bagaimana technology is more advanced, where the government is not yet ready with those advancement, belum terlalu siap dengan kemajuan teknologi yang ada. Adanya kemungkinan kita memesan ojek menggunakan aplikasi, dan itu akan mendisrupsi situasi yang ada, gitu kan? Nah, tidak hanya masalah kesiapan pemerintah gitu ya, tapi juga keberterimaan komunitas itu yang penting. BIM, VR, bagaimana teknologi itu diterima oleh komunitas jasa konstruksi dan arsitek profesional, gitu. Pasti teknologi akan lebih advance. kemudian nanti peraturan-peraturan, kemudian tata kelola dan sebagainya itu akan mengikuti. Karena bergantung bagaimana komunitas masyarakat menyikapinya. Seperti itu. Jadi ya teknologi kita lihat kita buat berkembang aja terus. Nanti kita lihat apakah masyarakat menerimanya atau tidak. Ketika masyarakat menerimanya, pemerintah pasti akan membuat satu aturan apa yang harus kelola, mana yang boleh atau tidak. Itu pun pasti berdasarkan kajian bersama dengan masyarakat gitu dan komunitas yang berlaku. Mungkin itu tanggapan.
Ya, it's very good point. Betul sekali ya. Dan saya berada di zona merah. Every time ditanya Bojong Koneng gitu ya, in the middle of nowhere saya itu ya. Jadi suruh turun gitu, teh turun gitu. Nah, nanti naiknya jalan kaki gitu. Ada yang pernah ke Bojong Koneng selain dia? Belum ada? Ya nanti udah. Nanti kapan-kapan ngantar ke rumah saya ya. Itu antara makhluk hidup dan makhluk tidak hidup. Hidup ya mereka ya? Tidak jelas. Okay, that's a very good point. I have another story about my house, reflective house. Jadi kalau misalkan kita punya teknologi, memang kaki kita kayak gurita gitu ya. Kita nggak bisa dua kaki dan dua tangan. Ke pemerintah iya, ke masyarakat iya. Secara akademis, saya terus terang diuntungkan karena posisinya di akademis. Jadi kalau tadi Pak Fauzan bilang Gojek itu sepertinya semena-mena langsung jeruk ke masyarakat. We cannot do that, something like that. So kita harus merangkul semua elemen. Nah, waktu saya bikin rumah Rafflesia itu pertentangannya kan pasti banyak sekali nanti ya orang yang PUPR sendiri sudah punya RISA, sudah punya rumah yang lain. Teknologi saya mengatakan bahwa ini lebih cepat, ini lebih murah, ini lebih hemat energi, low carbon. Nah, ketika sudah seperti itu, masyarakat mau memilih mana sih gitu? Perspektif masyarakat itu mau yang kemana? Rumah yang mau seperti apa? Nah, itu berarti kita harus bergeraknya bareng-bareng. Jadi mungkin nanti sebentar lagi kalian akan melihat banyak rumah putih gitu ya, yang dulunya itu agak-agak tabu dan tidak menyenangkan gitu, tapi ternyata Bu Beta ini cukup promosi gitu every single day gitu ya, Rafflesia gitu. Berapa? Pesan sponsor. Ya, ya, pokoknya itu ya. Oke, ada satu tadi pertanyaan.
Thank you for the presentation. It prompted a discussion, especially about latest technology. As we know, implementing technology is not easy, especially in the construction industry. In South Africa, more than 80% of the industry is not ready to adopt new construction technologies, even though new construction methods can save up to 80% in efficiency. How about in Australia? Is the preference or reception is better than South Africa? Some research suggests that applying new technology in universities is the best initial step before it is scaled up. What are your thoughts? Thank you.
Okay, it's a good question. Like there are not many comparison projects between countries, but the technology transformation and technology implementation, as you know, it's like very much depends on the context, the country itself, different parts and different sectors of the country. In Australia, usually well, they use the industry practitioners, they use technology in different projects, but depends on this, like the project itself. I mean, not all family business and smaller companies, but there are new generation of practitioners. They are more familiar with technology. They support the industry. One of my PhD students last year developed a startup, and he is selling this. He makes a lot of money and supporting the industry. And his startup is intelligent contracts. So it means like he helps other companies, smaller, medium-sized companies or whatever, to process all the payment things in the construction project. So these kind of companies are emerging more and more, and we have many of them, smaller companies that support the bigger ones in the industry. So construction industry or buildings, like building managers or all of them, like the building sector, they cannot recruit a lot of technology people by themselves. There will be smaller startups or contractors. They are producing things and these guys are using them. And those guys, like vendors, technology vendors, they support the bigger ones to use and implement it. But as I said, and one of the students asked here, there are two things. One of them is the digital infrastructure available by government, supported by government and others. But the second part is the application solution. Is that reliable, good solution, like relative advantages, different things. So it has two different sides.
Hauser, you want to add more? You want to make some? Oke, ada lagi yang mau bertanya? Oh, I will try to read online question. This is in Indonesia. Selamat siang. Siang is afternoon. Salam. Saya Irma. She would like to ask about the resilience of energy, about the on behalf of the architectural design, material, and how we have to react to the to those resilient energy, and also how about the lifestyle, because Indonesian society is still less educated about the energy resilience.
Based on my understanding, like the question is more about how we can, it's like how the technology can help us in terms of energy saving and lifestyle, or how lifestyle and energy saving can work together.
Yeah, connected with the Indonesian society is more in less education, so perhaps she thought that it would be difficult if the technology is intrude to the everyday life.
Yeah, that's a good question. When we talk about energy saving, we need to also consider the size of the energy usage, like what is the building, what is the city, which part of the city, because you can save more energy where people are using it at a high scale. But if you go to some poor areas or villages or some groups of people who are not very much using energy, and compared to like large buildings and villas, like a smaller size of occupants, but a lot of air conditioners. So it means this comparison gives us an idea that the awareness of the energy usage and lifestyle, of course, the awareness should be for everybody and all countries, but in reality, the focus should be high usage buildings and those who are using energy more than others, rather than pushing poor people or mid-level and to poor level people to use almost nothing, because at the moment they don't use so much as. So if you look at the environment history, you can see like many big factories, they use the environmental resources and they will become rich and richer. But some other people, they don't have very much big portion of the environment and natural resources as well. So their footprint is almost zero. But there are many debates around it. So how we can consume more sustainable products and how we can change our lifestyle to still save energy and save the environment. But as I said, well, it depends on which part of the society or community we are referring to. And governments also, they have a very key role in this field in terms of changing the behavior, changing the culture, training people, helping people to improve their lives in a more sustainable way. So governments they have a big role in this matter. But as you mentioned, the awareness is the key thing, being aware of it. But sometimes you can't do much because you're not using a lot of energy anyway.
Okay, thank you. So I guess it's related about our university. So if you imagine, who can guess how much? I always mention how much the electricity bill in our university per month. The whole UPI Setiabudi, not another campus. Can you guess one? Can you guess? Berapa? 10 juta? Kurang sekali. Kalau kelas FISBA nggak boleh jawab kan? Because I always mention to them 500,000 million a month. So it means like 1 year, it's around 5 million. Million is Iranian. Billion. Yeah, 5 billion a year. So you can imagine your tuition fee going to pay some of them. So actually we are in Bandung, we have these 3 aircon, and because for meeting room is quite difficult. We have to admit that. But for class, if you enter the room, we feel like it's much more warm. So actually, this is kind of the, if awareness about the money, people going to choose, you're going to pay your bill or you're going to save the design electricity bill or something like that. Low carbon design, something like that. So it's depend on the owner. Ya, jadi kalau mendesain jangan ignorant gitu ya. So we have another question from online. It's very long question. No, actually not question. Thank you, Professor Samad, for great presentation. As you mentioned, there is dependency to good internet connection. Indonesia still facing challenge that internet penetration still low even compared to Vietnam. Ngapain dibanding-bandingin? Orang kita di Indonesia baik-baik saja. We hope that the new president, paling juga nih Pak Prabowo di bawah-bawah ini ya. This is my student. Will have new policy to have cheaper and wider penetration of internet as part of new technology to communicate. The digital infrastructure is important in technology usage and implementation. The other side of transformation story is to develop useful application to solve problem. I don't know. Is it question? Ask. I think it's a statement. Oh, already respond. Oh. Okay. I will invite Pak Prabowo. Yeah, last 2 months ago, Pak Basuki actually already say yes to me. My propose lamaran saya itu sudah diterima gitu ya sama Pak Basuki, tapi kalah sama Pak Jokowi ya saya siapa gitu ya. So next will be like Pak Prabowo perhaps. Let's ask him to join to our class and having some debate. That would be nice. So I'm not going to, that's not the question. Ada lagi Tio? Okay. Actually, we still have 1 or 2 minutes before lunch. So the lunch only for 100 portion. So please make sure that your friends already, how to say like, berbagi ya dengan temannya. Soalnya di stok juga kasihan ya di depan pintu nggak boleh masuk kan kasihan. Harusnya cuma 100 manusia, tapi hari ini 130 tadi kata Teh April. Jadi ya 30 orang ini nanti berbagi dengan yang 100 itu tadi ya. Jadi seoperit ya. Hari ini kita diet gitu. Okay, we just have lunch for 100 people, but our audience today is like 130.
It's better to eat more today.
So, or ask Theo to find some Lunch. Ada satu lagi yang mau bertanya? Oke.
Cek, cek. Langsung saja ya. Saya ingin bertanya, as we already know, the growth of technology is very fast since the invention of computer in World War II by Alan Turing to solve the Enigma machine. And since then, the technology is exponentially fast. I think that people and humans will never be catch up to that, will never be keep up to the current technology and always like running by foot comparing to technology. Technology is flying by hypersonic plane and while we are just running on foot. And like Mr. Fauzan said, we should invent the system, not the product. What happened to people who cannot and doesn't capable to invent the system? Are we gonna let them rot or what? What the solution of that? Thank you.
Okay, maybe the question is directed to me regarding my statement that we should become a system designer instead of the product designer. Okay, also, and then what happened to those who stay becoming a product designer? Is that the question? Yeah. I think there is no problem for staying as just a product designer. Maybe you will stay producing the similar design less faster or slower compared to the system designer, because once you build a system, you can produce your design much faster compared to those who are still using the product designer approach. Because we can feel that in recent years we must do something quicker, faster, or even do multitasking between one task and another task. So once we have built our own system, we can keep the system run by itself to produce the design that the designer want to produce, instead of us crafting manually the product or the design that we want to have or to produce. So it's much about the product designer, the designer who built their own system can produce the design much faster. So it's about the time variable, and also the time variable. So, and for those who not adapting that, that's okay, but they will maybe not get crossed, but get more challenge to those who build their own system. Do you get it? Okay.
Ya, cannot agree more. Jadi ya memang harus belajar ya, apalagi anak-anak sekarang itu kalau disuruh ngitung nggak mau, disuruh pemrograman nggak mau gitu ya, udah itu ke Mars aja kalian itu nanti. Nggak tahu dijadiin apa kalau ke Mars. So, is there any question? We going to close our session for question and answer, or perhaps Pak Samad, you want to add some more?
Nothing very much, but thank you so much for your time and patience to be here and listen to our conversation. It took a long time. And if you've got any questions in the future, anything, you can contact any of us, or you can read our papers. So I put my Instagram and LinkedIn barcodes here as well. If you want, you can connect. And I'll see you maybe in the lunchtime. All
I
right.
guess you're
Yeah.
not going the last. This is not your last time you're going to
Oh,
visit
okay.
UP.
Okay.
I guess
Yes.
you can
That's
visit
right.
next.
Yeah.
Next another.
Yeah, and also I need to thank Ibu Bita to spend a lot of time to manage and coordinate all of these events, and also visiting us in Sydney and here. And I'm really always impressed by her energy and time to help students and staff and everybody and make the connection. So that's really great. We don't have very much this kind of helpful and supportive people. Thank you so much.
Ya, terima kasih kembali. We have photo session. How about that? Student over there or student? Huh? Oh, over there. Yes, you are standing. Yang atas mau turun foto, kalian baru datang, nggak dapat makan. Boleh tolong di foto? Oh, ini ada Tio. Kayaknya berdiri di sini. Yang atas boleh ke bawah, nanti nggak ke foto loh. Mereka duduknya di mana? Nah, ya. Mereka berdiri aja. Nanti nggak kelihatan kalau mereka berdiri. Kelihatan? Iya, ya. Boleh berdiri kayak tadi. Oh iya. Boleh berdiri. Ya, boleh di depan agak maju. Oke, terima kasih sekali Pak Fauzan for your time, and also Pak Samad for your interesting and always amazing lecture. So student, you have to find scholarship to many countries, especially to Australia. So I'm encourage you to have some, you know him already, so you can ask him, mention my name, I'm Ibu Beta, anaknya Ibu Beta gitu ya. Mention my name, it will be a magic word for magic. Yeah, it will be quicker. So any email or any WhatsApp not going to be respond without the keyword Bu Beta. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for your time today. We have lunch in front of our room, but yeah, we have to make sure it will be 400. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Thank you for my very nice assistant. Ini punya Pak Samad. Oke. Oh ya, makan nggak boleh di dalam, jadi ada satu ruang kelas atau berdiri. Urut umur ya. Yang angkatan tahun 2023 ada? Nggak ada? Anak Piskom pada kemana nih? 2022? Oh ya, kalian masih nanti terakhir ya berarti. Angkatan 2021, saya katanya nggak pernah ngajar kalian. Ini mah ngajar. Ngajar. Banyak yang nggak pernah saya ajar. Belum pernah sama sekali. Belum pernah saya masuk kelas kalian. Oh SK, oke. Ya paling nggak udah tahu saya gitu ya. Oke. Oh, ya Medlit kan sekarang ya. Oke. Oke, boleh. Terima kasih sekali lagi. Sampai ketemu lain waktu. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.